What's up?
I'll be thinking a game gonna come on after that intro.
I know.
Like the
Like,
next thing that's gonna pop up is, you're gonna hear Mike Tirico or Chris Collinsworth or something.
yep. Well, welcome into football here. Double
Yes,
episode
everybody.
here, double recording type of thing on Saturdays. That's gonna be the MO here. So I'm Rich, and this is Jermaine in the right corner of your screen, wearing the
Yep,
Camaro jersey.
yep. I got
Yeah,
reason to wear it now.
yeah, you do. You do. So we had some games that happened. Good to say. Good to see. I don't think the game's really disappointed.
No, not at all. And it was just good. I mean, like when you're watching the preseason, I mean, you already
Yeah,
know that that's watered down football, but you can watch the preseason every play, beginning to end, and your Yahoo app is not going to do anything. It's going to stay at
right.
zeros. It was so good to see plays being made and points start racking up on that fantasy app. I mean, like when you see that little purple cup, you hit the button and you see points there. It's just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I mean they felt like legitimate good games. Like, unfortunately, how often do we see that first game just being absolute
Usually sloppy.
dumpster fire?
Yeah, I mean, usually the first 2-3 weeks, games are sloppy with a lot of penalties. Ready to go. I mean, they were the plays were smooth and crispy. They were going up and down the field. It was. I was a little shocked. I mean, to be honest, I mean how smooth and fluid the games were going, and the schedule makers are excellent. To be told, to be honest, those look like the championship games for real. Like the Baltimore and the Kansas City game, of course, was AFC championship last year, but that can very well be the championship again this year. And Green Bay and the Eagles, that could be the NFC championship this year. You never know. So they picked some
Right.
great games to come right out of the gate with, and they did not
Yeah.
disappoint.
Yeah, and not only were they fantasy fun games, they were good actual football games.
Competitive games. Yep. No team was getting blown out. It was, up and down, up and down. It kept you on your seat the whole time. Yeah, they were good games. And like you said, fantasy wise.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm just trying to pull something up on NFL here if you want to talk to the people.
You said what?
I said I'm just pulling something up on ESPN here if you want to talk to the
Oh,
people here.
oh. I'm like, what did you say?
Awkward.
I missed the punchline or whatever it was. No, but yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of buildup to those games, and I had a lot of skin in the Kansas City game. Not in this league necessarily, but not in our league, but in another league. Some disappointers though. The two tight ends, the premier tight ends, terrible.
Yeah, let's start with the Baltimore Kansas City game here. So, just going over the stat line here, Lamar probably better than expected. 26 for 273 and a tutty.
Had over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah. And on the other side of it, Patty Mack, 20 for 291 and a tutty and a pick. Great. I'm fine with that. I mean, God, Lamar had $122 on the ground.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are probably up in arms about Derrick Henry, but I feel like from a game script standpoint, you look at it, KC was pretty much up the whole game. So,
True.
he's never been that super big catch the ball and he's not a Kamara type, right? So that's why Justice Hill was getting so much play.
Yeah.
Looks like he had, 13 for 46 and a tutty. Not anything great. Pacheco, same on his side. I mean, he didn't really need a ton, but if you look at, like the lion's share was Henry and Pacheco. Pacheco had 15 for 45 and a tutty. It kind of matched it pretty much from, side to side. But I think here's where it gets really interesting. Mark Andrews,
Yes.
not much of anything. 2 for 14.
Terrible. And
Kelsey,
his
not much
backup.
better. 3 for 34.
Andrews backup. Isaiah Likely. I am so glad because I'm playing your son this week, and your son had him on the bench, and he dropped like 48 points.
Yeah.
I'm so glad your son didn't play him because I would be down 48 if he would have played him, but he did not.
Yeah,
but
I mean, look, top receiver, 9 receptions for 111 and a tutty, long of 49. I mean, the closest to him was a tie between Justice Hill and Zay Flowers for 52 and 37, respectively. Nothing really to write home about there, but they've also never really been a big passing offense, so not really crazy.
But just think if they would have tied the game, I mean, if he didn't step out on that, I mean, that would have been another touchdown for him. I mean, he would have been by far the top fantasy scorer for the week.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 tutties, over 100 and something yards. I mean, he was Lamar's first read pretty much, and Andrews was an afterthought. And I'm like, I'm just hoping that's just a 1 week thing. I'm like, man, don't tell me this is the new trend. I mean,
well, what's interesting is Noah
Edwards was forgot about.
Noah Gray and Kelsey had pretty much the exact same stat line, 37 and 34, 3 receptions each.
For Kelsey, that was kind of a mind blowing.
Rashee Rice, he kind of went ham, 7 receptions, $103.
Yeah.
But I think and I'm not saying this because I have him, but I do. Xavier Worthy, Mr. Electric, had a rushing touchdown. And a receiving touchdown. He had 2 for 47. So 2 tutties, 1 on the ground, 1 catching. It's great. That's great. I'm happy with that. He feels like a talented McCole Hardman, a productive McCole Hardman. So
I kind of equated to, it seemed like Patrick Mahomes got a bunch of new toys for Christmas. And, his favorite toy, if you follow the Toy Story thing, is either Woody or Buzz Lightyear or something like that, who's Kelsey. So he wanted to play with his new toys, and he got a chance to play with, Worthy. He got a chance to continue with Rashee Rice, and he still got Hollywood Brown that didn't even play. So Kelsey's still his favorite toy. But for this week, when he broke open those new toys, he kind of forgot about his old toy for the week. But in the thick of things, it's going to get back to Kelsey's number 1 option. It's probably most likely.
Right. But you know what? He didn't really need him. And I think that is an interesting, part about that. Now, the other part about the whole Andrews thing is he was getting triple covered every time he had the chance to get the rock. So a lot of that, he got kind of scripted out. So I think a lot of folks that are probably panicking need to kind of check themselves at the door and realize, okay, look at the tape, see kind of what the coverage looked like. He was getting blanketed. So, you're not just going to throw it to him just to throw it to him, just to say, they don't care about fantasy. It's about winning the game.
Yes.
And if likely, and don't forget, he's just coming off of a car crash. I'm not saying he's necessarily hurt from it or whatever, but there's a lot of things going on. Plus, the injury. I mean, there's a lot, but I think the biggest part of that is he was getting triple covered. So what do you do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, Baltimore has to develop more weapons to take the pressure off of him because, it's just that from a fantasy standpoint, for people that drafted, Laporta was probably the number one tight end drafted, and then it was Kelsey or Andrews. And for the people that picked the second and third best tight ends in the draft, they just, I know they're worried. They're concerned. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm a Kelsey manager myself.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think you're worried because you know how it's going to really be out. But to the average person that doesn't really, that has a panic button quicker than the most, they're pressing their panic button. It's like, man, I didn't think going into that game, neither one of them would have, either yardage or a touchdown. They didn't have either. Like, if Kelsey would have had 3 for 37 and a touchdown, you wouldn't have gave 2 shits, right? You'd have been like, got the touchdown, right? But neither one of them got the touchdown.
I think people should also remember here too, the draft equity that you put in to those higher-ended tight ends. 3 for 34 for a tight end is not terrible. Like, in general, it's not terrible. Like,
but like you said, depending on the draft capital, like if in the 15th round you got a tight end and they got 3 for 34, yes, that's great. That's a great pick. But for somebody you drafted in the 5th, 6th round, that ain't cutting it.
But it's going to balance out considerably as the year goes on, and you're going to have those, 5 for 80 and 2 tutty things like that. Like, and with a regular tight end, you're never coming to a fourth of that ever, so I'll take the low floor of 3 for 37. Cool. I'll take it. Whatever. I'm not worried about it, but I think everyone needs to keep their pants on. The more exciting game in my view, mostly because I had a lot more skin in it, but I'm, just more of a high-powered offense, two high-powered offenses. It was Green Bay and Philly. All right.
Yes.
Now there's a lot of little things to kind of get in here. So we'll kind of attack it, but we'll start with the whole statistical part. So Jordan Love, 17 for 260, 2 tutties and a pick. Jalen Hurts so good, 20 for 278, 2 tutties and 2 picks. I know when he first started off his drives, people were like, "Oh my God, what happened here?" And I was very nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Please, somebody
started off with like a fumble and like an interception. He was like,
it was a pick.
It's like going to be a turnover machine or something.
And a egregious pick, and then just like a really mishandled fumble there or snap. So, going down to the rushing, Jacobs, he looked pretty bad the whole game, but I think the field was pretty poor. But he ended up with 16 for 84, Longa 32. So if you take that 32 out of it, puts him at what, 15?
That's what I was going to say. He broke 52. Off 1 or 2 chunk plays, but the rest were pretty minimal.
Yeah, if you take out that big one, it's like 15 for 52, so not really that impressive. Emmanuel Wilson seemed to have some juice. 4 for 46, long of 18.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I have him in another league. So yeah, I
did? Okay.
Yeah,
I never heard of him like in the preseason. Nothing. I was just like, I mean, as soon as he started running, I immediately went to the wire. Like, who is this? I mean, just for a 10-team or a 12-team league that it's a traditional league, you're probably not scrambling to look at who he is yet until he
Right.
does more. But for
Right.
the league we are in, your league,
Yeah.
those are the players you start looking for immediately.
Yeah.
Because
I
you can
actually
start so many people.
I drafted him in another league, actually. Like, it was right after Dylan went to IR. I was like, okay. One of the really interesting things, and once again, I do have this guy, and I started him, but it's not why it's interesting. They showed a little stat on the game there, and I don't know if I don't want to quote myself and put myself into a corner there, but I'll give you my best estimate here. So Jaden Reed, 1 carry for 33 yards and a tutty. They said it was below a percentage point of the touchdown likelihood of that rush going to the house. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing because he made that look relatively easy. So
yeah.
Rushing on the Philly side, Saquon. He is so happy to have a line. Oh boy.
A line, not just a
20,
line. He's happy to have weapons that isn't the
yes,
offense isn't just
right,
him.
fully.
Yeah.
Saquon, 24 for $109, 2 tutties on the ground, long of 34, which I think is pretty cool as well. Jalen did not look very good on the ground, 13 for 33, along with 8. He looked like he was being smoked all game there. So, but
And Tush
also,
Push didn't even look that. I mean, did Kelsey really make that much of a difference? I guess he has.
well,
Because
yes and no. I think some of that has to do with getting more comfortable with your new center. So, I'll reserve my judgment kind of sitting here and not worry about that till later on. But wasn't sexy. So I'll go there. Receiving on the Green Bay side here, and I think this is a surprise to everybody. Jaden Reed got loose in the passing game as well here. 4 receptions, $138, long as 70 and a tutty. Dobbs followed up with 4 for 50, and that's really kind of about it. Like everyone else had 2.
well, when everyone came into the year, everyone thought, no one knew who Green Bay's solidified premier receiver was. I mean, Jaden Reed came on at the end of the year. I ain't gonna say I forgot about him, but I kind of lost sight of him when it was time to draft. For everyone that drafted Jaden Reed, you are feeling excellent. You yourself, everyone rich drafted Jaden Reed, and he drafted him very late. I mean, I can't remember when you drafted him. I think you drafted him like 9th, 10th round. But anyone that drafted him got
that here.
Anyone that drafted him got excellent value for that pick because you didn't expect him to get a rushing touchdown, and he has pretty much propelled himself to 9th round. How do you get a Jaden Reed that he dropped you like 40 something points?
Probably more than that. Hold on.
I think 48, something like that.
Yeah, 48. Yep, 48.
Yep. So anyone that drafted Jaden Reed in the 9th round, you don't expect to get 48 points in the 9th round out of nobody that you're drafting there. So be happy. He has propelled himself to be the number 1 Reed. That clearly showed the number 1 Reed. Reed is the number 1 Reed. And I think the second is Watson now, and then Dobbs is third.
I mean, Dobbs went 4 for 50. Watson was 3.
Dobbs seems like a possession receiver. He's not a big flash in the pan. He's just a move the chains type of receiver. And Watson is just primarily deep, and he's fast. But Reed is both.
Well, not this game. His long was 6 yards for Watson, but yeah. You got that. I think that was actually his tutty. But we go to the Philly side here. AJ, man among men Brown here, 5 for $120, a tutty, long as 67. You saw that breakaway speed that he got away from Jair there. So that was that felt good for him because they were having some issues. They were having like a Mike Evans and what's his name?
Lattimore, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah. My man Devontae Smith out received him from a reception standpoint, but 7 for 84, long of 25. Dallas Goedert got in there for 4 receptions and Saquon 2. But literally Saquon's 2 receptions were 2 touchdowns. So, can't really be more efficient than that. But yeah, I mean, I think with all the statistical things out of the way here, yeah, I mean, it was a fun game to watch. The field was sloppy, but okay, first game.
Yeah, they slept.
I mean, God.
Now, one thing going in, you got to worry about is Jordan Reed. I mean, not Jordan Reed, is Jordan Love got hurt at the end of the. They talking about MCL. It's definitely not a comeback next week thing. So I'm like, who's going to be?
They were saying 4 weeks. They're saying 4 weeks for Love. They said he has no structural damage for his ACL. He's fine there. They initially thought it was an ankle. It seemed like it was like a high-low kind of deal.
Yeah, because I seen somebody like a big defensive lineman fell on his ankle and it bent under him. So I thought it was the ankle. I didn't think it had nothing to do with the knee. But
yeah. I mean, it's so unfortunate. And people are saying it was dirty and things like that. I don't know, man. The field was garbage. You have linemen doing that. If it was like a linebacker coming clean and he just rolls up on you and he's not being blocked, that's a dirty play. This wasn't a dirty play. I think this was a matter of the field literally at the end of the game, so it's sloppier than sloppy. And then you have one 300-pound man pushing another 300-pound man into another 300-pound man. Like that's a lot of things that can go wrong. Do
you blame LaFleur at all for having Jordan Love in at that point? I mean, it was like the last 5 or 10 seconds. I guess he's
not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, because that could have happened, that play or the third play in the second quarter. It just is what it is. Really just blame the protection of the offensive line if you're going to blame anybody, really. But I think he came out the best he possibly could. I think that sucks for all Green Bay receivers now. I don't think I can actually start Reed now. I thought maybe I could just trade him out like now to get some sucker that would be like, you're trading him? I'll take him. It's like, okay, cool. Here's what I want. Like
pull off one of your barrels.
I was gonna say, where's Timmy at? What's Timmy?
I just immediately thought, here, break out the barrel. He's about to throw somebody's torso right over a barrel and bang the hell out of him.
Yep. But yeah, I'm probably, I'm not going to get anything for him. Anyone that's worth their weight in salt is not going to go ahead and give me anyone that's worthwhile for him. I mean, I'll take maybe a parallel lateral move, but I can't picture myself playing him over the next 4 weeks. I can't. I don't want to play that game. I mean, I already lost Higgins for this week because of hammy.
Yeah, I lost him in another league. I'm like, man.
I was already week 1. I'm already having to make decisions. It's been 2 games. Like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Gotta pivot. Pivot. Yeah. So and I think the backup, I hope they go out and get a veteran, but the backup is that Malik Willis dude. He is terrible. He couldn't even get off the Hail Mary pass. Like the end of the game was all you had to do was back up and nail him. He got sacked on that. That's how bad he doesn't want to throw the ball. Like he does not want to throw the ball for nothing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they saw in him, why they grabbed him up, but
Steelers almost drafted him. I remember it was between him and Kenny Pickett that year, and I was just like, everybody was like, Malik Willis is this new and coming. I'm so glad we didn't take him. It's not like we got anything better, but Pickett was better than him, and that says a lot.
that's not great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into these games here.
Okay.
Unless you got anything else you want to talk about on the games that happened.
Any other surprises? No. No. It's just mainly like we already talked about. The Green Bay. The guy got hurt, but everything else, yeah. Jaden Reed's the number one. Dubs is a possession. Jacobs was okay. Philly looked at like pretty much Philly. They just got a
Yeah,
monster running back now.
I was gonna say they got a new toy now, and that's. Whew.
So I said, I mean,
healthy,
if
man.
Jordan Love didn't get hurt, that could have been the NFC Championship. Man,
Yeah,
those
right?
teams, both of those teams are built pretty solidly. They both got okay defenses. I think that both of those games showed the Kansas City and the Eagles in the Green Bay game. I think it showed that. I think in years past, remember it was the defenses were ahead of the offenses, and it was hard to
Right.
score. I think it's
Right.
kind of flip flop now, where the offenses are ahead of the defenses because I'm not used to Philly just letting people go up and down the field like that. I mean, Green Bay was going up and down the field at will, and like nobody played defense in either one of those games. So I'm starting to see that I guess in the first beginning games of the season, the defense is going to take a while to catch up.
Yeah, and perfect.
And that's great for fantasy. We love it. Score as much as you can.
All right, so I'm just going to go down the docket on ESPN here. So first game is Steelers at Falcons. The Eagles are -3.5. The over/under is 41.5. So I don't know if this changed because Wilson is out. I would think it probably did. I would say Falcons are probably going to win that game. And it's probably not going to be that close.
I mean, it was going to be a painful game to watch, period, to me. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson is a little bit more of an accurate passer than Justin Fields is. And I thought that maybe the Steelers had a chance to go down there and still win in Atlanta. But with Justin Fields, I don't feel that at all.
No, it's not even just that. I mean, I would feel the same way with Russ. I mean, our wide receiver is Pickens. Full stop. That's it. That's it. Like that's what it is. So
yeah,
and that's the frustrating thing because I'm seeing people like, well, what about Najee's extension? Are they going to do that? And then they extended Freiermuth, and I'm like, cool, but you have literally Dick in the wide receiver room. Like I don't know if they were doing a fantasy draft themselves and they forgot to like do the wide receiver part.
The wide receiver.
Like they went like zero wide out. Like that instead of zero RB, they
zero wide receiver strategy. Right. Yeah. What?
Like I don't know, man. I feel like this.
You think it's gonna be Van Jefferson or
dude, who cares? It's gonna be another bullshit season.
Yeah, that's what it's starting to look like. And everybody, like you said, people saying sign Najee. I'm a fan of getting Najee out of the building. Let's move on. Like, yeah. Hey. Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching this type of offense where it's just like it's a hope and prayer type of offense where it's just like you hope.
You're hoping for a broken play. That's what you're doing. You're hoping for a broken play, and something
that's crazy.
You're like, hey, let's go. So,
like, you're not hoping for good, smooth, clean football. You're hoping somebody make a mistake, a fumble, get a short field, or busted coverage or something like that. What kind of way is that to watch football? Like,
it's the way people watched last year too. So there's that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, never.
You're going to go with Bijan there. They're going to be out pretty much the whole game, so Bijan should eat.
Bijan, yep.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't play with Kirk. I wouldn't really touch that. I don't think it's gonna have to do too much. I don't think this is gonna be a high scoring game. I mean, I would definitely go for the under, but I would say
So you wouldn't
Atlanta.
roll out Drake London or Kyle Pitts because they don't think he's gonna
I
get it to
mean,
him.
I would say I don't. I would. I don't. I never can trust Pitts. I mean, now he has a quarterback, so we'll see. But that dude has to prove it to
Yeah, I
everybody.
was
And I've
never
never
in
been
on
big.
Pitts to begin with. I mean, when he first came in out and everyone was drafting him at the top of the
Yeah.
board, I never believed in him. It's just certain players that I just never. And we talked about it on football last year. Certain players that
Yeah.
I just don't feel the vibe with, and I would
No.
never pick them.
No.
Be
Not at
sitting
all.
there staring me in my face, and I would find a way to, you know, it's like a kid in class with their hand up, and you tired of that kid answering the same question, so you look. Anybody else got anything to say? And you just
Right.
pass
Right.
them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That's
No.
just
I'm same boat, man. Same boat. I mean, I guess someone has to catch a pass. So I guess you could start Drake, but I'm as low on Drake as I am for Kyle Pitts. So they're kind of one and the same with me. But also, all I know is them with their quarterbacks that they had. So we'll see. But
well, the London pick drafters, they they have the hope that Justin that London's going to be Kirk's Justin Jefferson. That's what they'll
oh
all
god,
say to you, and I'm like,
oh no, are
you
people
think that?
actually saying that verbatim? My god,
Yeah, yeah.
oh
The people
god,
that believe in London and on these fantasy shows, they're like they think Kurt is going to go down there and turn him into a JJ type like player. I'm like,
oh
what?
boy,
That's what I heard.
right.
That's why Drake London was going so early. At first, I was just like, why is people drafting him so early? And it was like, oh well, Kurt is there, and everyone has sugar plum lollipops in their head, or
Yeah.
they think it's going to be the next JJ.
Well, Steelers are definitely going to have to throw. So if you draft Pickens, I guess you're going to have to play him. I would say Muth probably isn't a terrible play either, at least from like an underneath route kind of standpoint. But until we see how this actually works, I don't know. Because if I was any team, I'm doubling Pickens and telling you to beat me. Go ahead.
Beat me with anything you got. Yep.
Right.
And then
Which
the
is
running
really
backs, I mean, I would trust Warren a little bit, but because of Fields, he
I
can't
would
pass.
say,
So
yeah, I
he's
would
going to be
say,
stealing runs from the running backs.
well, yeah. Yeah, that's oh god. All right, next game. I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. Cards and Bills. We got a okay. So Buffalo is -6.5, and the over under is 47.5. I feel like it. I feel like that should be a fun game, man.
They say did they
I
anticipate this to be a high scoring game because Buffalo's defense ain't what it used to be. Cardinals defense never was good. So
well, that's what I'm saying. 47.5. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
over under. So I would think that's definitely going to hit the over. I'm excited to see Marv out there for the first time with Kyler. I'm very interested to see what Buffalo's offense looks like without
yeah, with the
Diggs,
receivers.
without a
Yeah,
Diggs answer in there.
that's the biggest thing for me is the biggest question I want answered is what is Josh Allen? How is he going to deploy the receiver? Like who's going to
Right.
be his dude? Like that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
Besides Kincaid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got two really cool tight ends going against each other too, with the whole Kincaid and McBride there. So that'll be
McBride,
fun to watch. I mean, because those are kind of like the tight ends of the future, you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But two mobile quarterbacks, two kind of unproven. Well, not unproven, but I guess going into the season, unproven offenses. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would say anything you have from a piece of this game, I'd start it.
I was about to say, if you had Shakir, would you roll him out there? If you
Yeah.
had Curtis Samuel, would you roll him out there?
No, not Curtis, because I don't trust that he's healthy yet.
Yes.
Now, in a normal league, no.
Curtis Samuel is one of those players that you can have a 3-year offseason and he still would be questionable on the injury report for week 1. It's like, man, you had 3 years to heal and you still questionable?
Yeah. I mean, from the card side, definitely Kyler, definitely McBride, Marv.
See, you put a little stock in Dortch in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I picked up Greg Dortch off waivers here. Oh, not off waivers. He was just free agent.
Just sitting out there, yeah.
Just to sit there and see
what's going on.
What part of that offense he is going to play into. We'll see.
I imagine he's going to be the next, like the Rondale Moore of that offense, because Rondale Moore is no longer there. But the wild card type, they throw him little fly screens and bubble screens and silly passes like that. Nothing crazy down the field, but like a a wild card.
Right. He's definitely a complimentary piece. He does not thrive if he is the main course there. So he's always going to be like he's going to be like the mashed potatoes on your plate. So, but start up James Cook for the Bills, kind of let him go there. I mean, you can go that Coleman kid as well, but I just don't know who is getting the ball. I mean,
the Coleman dude. Oh yeah, I forgot about Keon Coleman. Okay.
It would probably make more sense to start Josh and that's it.
Josh and Cook.
Yeah, Josh and Cook, just because they're both going to get volume, obviously. I just don't know where else that's going to go to.
The question is still unanswered for the rest of this. The only two solidified pieces here is Josh and Cook. The rest, you don't know what you're getting into yet.
And you're not going to know for probably 4 weeks.
Oh, Kincaid. I'm talking about. You can.
Well,
Kincaid.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, and that may be all they need. I mean, cards kind of suck, but I mean, yeah. So I'd say it's probably good.
And then the cards, you said Kyler, Connor, Marv,
McBride,
and until you see,
they're gonna have to come back like that. That's kind of the whole thing. So I'm just kind of playing that as you're just gonna be down, and Connor likes to catch passes, so he's a bit of a matchup proof guy until he gets hurt, which he's really into that. So all right, Titans and Bears. Got, let me see, Chicago -4, over under 44.5. God, I don't even want. I'm so happy I don't have to be a fan of either one of these teams. Nothing about that seems exciting.
You said the Titans and the Bears?
Yeah. Titans and the Bears. Chicago -4, over under 44.5. I mean, you're gonna see the number one pick.
That's what I'm just curious to see what's that's going to look like, and the new kid, the Odunze. I want to see what he's about. Want to see the new pick with I want to see the new pick with the DJ Moore and what Keenan Allen's going to look like. Swift. Want to see what he's about. So I don't know. Bunch of unanswered questions.
You could be safe starting all of those wideouts for the Bears. I feel like that is safe enough. mean, I would say you could probably be even safe starting the quarterback like that. I don't hate it. Now, I wouldn't want anything about the Titans. I wouldn't even. No.
Yeah.
Hard no.
You got Tajay Spears and Pollard.
Nope.
You don't know what the split is going to look like.
Even if I don't care. It's going to be gross. They're both terrible.
He just said, I don't care.
They're both awful.
What about Ridley? Calvin Ridley? Nothing.
No, because he has Will Levis throwing him the ball. I'm all set. All set.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what it's about.
That's
about it.
Curious and being starting are two different things. Like, I'm fine with being curious.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I know I got Levis as my backup, but hopefully by week 5 or 6, he's picked it up a little bit. I mean, he has potential to run. He's a young kid. I mean, he's not afraid to run.
Yeah, right. But yeah, not really much to really yap about there. It's not really an exciting, fun game. Once again, it sucks to be, interesting to see the number 1 pick, but other than that, meh. Patriots at Bengals. Cincinnati is -7.5. Over under is 40.5. That's an interesting that just shows you how bad the Patriots are, because this is going to be without Chase, without Higgins. They're going to have Trent Irwin and that other
Yoshi Voss.
Yeah,
like something. It's pronounced Yoshi Voss, but it's like an I. The way you spell it is really crazy. Weird. Yeah, like ISO something or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Zach Moss will be interesting to see, and Chase Brown will be interesting to see.
I want to see how that split turns out. Yeah,
but they're both probably a safe play.
Yeah. Cincinnati they don't really employ a tight end, huh? I don't really.
Yeah. Not really. Like it's. Is Coach Sample up there? Yeah.
Somebody. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I mean, and I'm pissed about, I got Burrow and he don't got his top weapons, and it's like
I would almost sit Burrow this week, actually.
I'm not sitting him for Will Levis.
No, your option's terrible. But I'm saying if you were actually drafted well, I would like one, they weren't going to have to do much anyway. The reason I would have started him because they were just going to show out because Chase, and especially if you got paid, like that was going to be a whole little let's show off because we're literally playing a team where we can do that easily. But Patriots, next.
We're saying the Patriots might be like the worst team in the league. So
it's so funny, like how far
they were just for 20 years. You got tired of seeing them be the best team. I'm so glad that their fans is finally getting their due.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. Fantasy wise, I guess you have to trot out Ramondre Stevenson, but Bengals know that. Yeah, the Bengals know that that's all they're gonna do is run it. So, wow.
I mean, I got the Jalen Polk guy. I actually have him currently starting. That's only because Higgins went down, so I had to do something.
Yeah.
I
think I got KJ Osborne.
Oh,
I think I got him starting because they're going to be behind. They're going to just be throwing it and throwing it and throwing it and throwing it. And PPR, point per reception. So I don't really.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett.
It's going to be an ugly team that we're going to pretty much glance over all year. So get used to it. Texans at Colts here. So Texan is -3. And an
Only 3.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they got their divisional opponent and all that. So
Yeah.
kinda,
I get it.
Yeah.
But over under a 48.5. This can be really fun. CJ.
Yeah.
I mean,
Curious to see. Hopefully that
Nico,
there's no sophomore slump or anything like that. Hope he picks up
I
right
don't
where he
think
was.
just gonna be. I think this dude's gonna ball out. Literally all the receivers. CJ, who's gonna chuck the tank. Nico, Diggs,
Tight end.
Schultz.
Schultz.
It's gonna be everyone's gonna eat.
What does Mixon look like?
Yeah, Mixon in his first role. See how much changeover. See how much they hate Dameon Pierce. Like that. This is kind of what this is gonna prove. And you got the Colts. You got Michael Pittman on there. You got the return of Richardson. You got Taylor. You got Mitchell, the incumbent, kind of taking over for Josh Downs' weak self.
Mm-hmm.
This should be a fun back and forth game. I would start pretty much everything that you can possibly start in there. Do it.
The receivers. Pittman's gonna, like you said, eat. Mitchell's gonna eat. They never had a tight end in Indy for some reason.
All they do is get hurt. Yeah.
Taylor's gonna eat. Yeah. Richardson's gonna eat. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that should be one of the fun games of the year or of the week here. Next, you got Jags and Dolphins.
Another high scoring game.
Yeah, so 3.5 or minus 3.5 for Miami, 48.5 for the over under. So same as last one. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna go all of the pieces you would normally go with. I mean, both running backs. You got Tua, you got Waddle, you got Hill. Literally, just you're gonna start. If you drafted smart, you would have drafted the whole Dolphins team. My feelings about Trevor Lawrence. I think he's an overrated hack.
Overrated.
I mean, ETN's the only one I would be worth even looking at. Everything else, don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I still got confidence in, Evans and also Christian Kirk.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm so hell-bent on and stuck on quarterback stuff that it's very hard for me to trust the pieces that aren't just dump off pieces. Like Ingram, like, okay, fine. Even him, like, I don't know. Yeah, he could disappear and nobody would bat an eye at it. But, they are going to have to obviously catch up and keep up. The fact that the over-under is only 3.5, the spread's only 3.5, that's really weird to me. I don't get that. I think they're giving them way too much credit. But, hey, whatever. Sports books and stuff.
Yeah.
So, oh, God. You have to talk about this one. Panthers at Saints.
Oh, gosh.
Right? Spread is -4 for the Saints, and the over-under is 41.5. I don't know how that's a thing. Oh, God. I just, dude, no. Just no. Don't make me do it. I like Kamara. There we go.
That's all I was going to say. That's Kamara all I can see.
Kamara
and who?
And Chuba.
Chuba? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Trying to think, who is the receiver in here? Oh, Deontay Johnson. I mean, he's a target hog. He's gonna get some PPR
Yeah, who's throwing
Bryce
him the
Young.
ball? Yeah.
Huh?
I said, who's throwing him the ball?
That's what I'm saying. If he can get him the ball.
Yeah. This is. I would venture to guess this may be on Red Zone tomorrow twice. Maybe. Like nothing about this. You got old ass Thielen, you got Mingo, you got Bryce Young, you got
Xavier Leggett and all these unprovens, all this stuff. I mean, you said, don't you hate that? Like when Red Zone tend to focus in on a game that nobody cares about,
right.
and you said they just keep rolling the tape on that same game. You be like, if you don't find a better game,
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have
they're
to
gonna
worry
be
about
stuck on this one.
Oh God, please no. Watch every other team will have a weather delay except this thing. All right, to round out the early game, Vikings at Giants. So you got two quarterbackless teams going up against each other. You got the spread of Minnesota's -1.5. Over under is 41.5. Once again, I have no idea how that's even going to happen. Start JJ and Neighbors. Everything else can literally burn to the ground.
You had Aaron Jones. Would you trot him out as the running back?
No, I don't even like Aaron Jones when he was on Green Bay. Dude's a walking ace bandage, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be needed. I mean, I guess you can, but I mean, I would absolutely try to find something better on my roster to do.
Yeah. Giants, Neighbors. That's it.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors. That is it. Like, I can't even name their other players. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, how are you that bad for like this? This, honest to God, has to be what it has to be like to be a Browns fan. Like, how are you this bad for this long? Like, I don't get it. I
know Saquon gonna be sitting at home because he already played, so he's gonna be sitting there watching the Giants, and he's gonna be so happy. Like, I'm so glad I'm out of that.
You know, it's funny. I can see this on ESPN too. This is pretty funny. For the Carolina and Saints game, tickets are as low as $22. So
for an NFL game, oh gosh, wow, that's like college prices.
Yeah, like, wow. And that's like a college discount. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, nothing else in it. I mean, Addison too. You can go Addison, but I don't know. I don't know what that thing is going to look like with, Darnold. Like, that guy is so fucking terrible at what his profession is. It's very weird.
Certain people, you're curious. How do they keep a job? Like, how do people just keep reinvesting in them? Like, I don't understand.
I have no idea, because he's never shown anything that's like, well, hold on here. Hold
on. He got a little potential, like nothing. No, so I don't understand how he's employed. It's out of
no idea. It's beyond me, man. Beyond me. All right, sparking off the late window here. We're going to wrap this up here relatively soon because we're pushing up past an hour here. So we're
trying to close this out in an hour. Let's go.
So Raiders at Chargers. So Chargers -3. Over under 39.5. So it's getting worse. I don't know. I think the Chargers, it's going to be very interesting seeing the other Harbaugh come in and
what's going to happen?
I
curious to see what the receiver, who's going to emerge as what, and even the running back rotation. Curious to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, they're basically West Coast Baltimore now with the running back room. So, but I would feel good starting Gus Bus. Fine doing that. I'm starting Ladd McConkey, which I am going to say, since he's a white guy, every time he scores, I'm going to say, you got McConkeyed. Yes. I will enjoy that greatly. But yeah, they basically unloaded they just redid they did their own fantasy draft. Shit, they got rid of everybody.
They blew up the whole thing.
Like they did an expansion draft but didn't move. I don't get it.
Yeah, and some of my leagues, Justin Herbert didn't even get drafted, and people were picking him up.
I don't blame you. I don't blame people for last year's debacle. I do not blame him, but I still think that dude is super elite.
Cannon.
I would. I don't make silly decisions just to see kind of the new hotness, how it goes. But I feel like you should feel safe enough with Gus Bus in there. You know, you can start Herbert. I wouldn't shy away from it, but also it's the Raiders, so I can't imagine that's going to be like a crazy competitive game.
Yeah.
I mean, the over-under doesn't scream. It's not the rule, but it's the lowest so far I've seen. So,
well, I mean, Raiders wise, you got Devontae. I'm Jacoby Myers. If you believe in Gardner Minshew, I want to. Curious to see what that running back Zamir White is. He really can he really be the workhorse back? And
no, he's too small, man. He's gonna get lit up.
I want to see what the rookie tight end that Brock Bowers has to offer.
Yeah,
and
I think that's going to be Gardner's best friend. So you could definitely kind of spark him up if you're looking to do it. But I wouldn't trust any of the running back room. And you may just want to sit back and see what Bowers can do. I mean,
instead of trotting him out the first week, but you never know.
I guarantee there's a better tight end option on your waiver or on your bench at this point, potentially. So, I don't know. But next on the list here is Broncos at Seahawks with a spread of Seattle -6 and a over-under of 41.5. I mean, you got Bo Nix against Geno Smith and DK Metcalf against, and then
he just left it blank. He didn't even say Cortland Sutton. He just said versus.
Oh God, right. My God, oof. Then you got Ken Walker against the ghost of
Javonte Williams and
McLaughlin there. So the game's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a very boring game. A very boring game that's, thank God, not going to be on Red Zone too much. But unfortunately, so far, the late games are looking rough. Let me see how many more. Okay, there's 4 late games. Okay. Oh, God damn, dude. They really screwed up the schedule. Fuck. Are you done with these? Are you done with that game?
Yeah. Let's keep it moving.
Cowboys at Browns. Cleveland. Really? Cleveland is -2.5. Over under 40.5.
They're just used to Dak always folding in big pressure moments. So
yeah. Well, hard no. I would start Dowdle. I would start Dak. Start CeeDee. Would
you start the tight end, Fergie?
No.
Ferguson?
No. He kind of fell off last year, so I don't know. We'll see. He's going to be a wait and see kind of thing. I wouldn't really clamor to the waiver wire to grab him. Start Jerome Ford, and that's about it.
Amari Cooper.
Oh, but revenge game. Oh shit, I forgot about him.
Amari Cooper and sorry-ass Jerry Jeudy, but it's Deshaun Watson throwing him the ball. That's the thing.
Right. I always forget the Browns sometimes have like actual named players because I'm like, you're the Browns usually fuck up, don't you? Usually have like creative players on there, right? Yeah, I have no idea how they're giving Browns that much credit. That's very funny. That's easy money, I would think. Last one on the list is the Commanders against the Bucks. Oh my God! Thank God that these games are so great at the late window. Holy shit! Oh God! So you can watch Daniels play against Baker. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Eckler out there now.
Want to see
You know,
how that looks
Robinson,
with
see how
him,
that
Brian
goes.
Robinson.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be, see how Daniels looks. I mean, I
Yeah.
would say you're
Can
definitely
he
a
get
top.
Can he get
top
McLaurin the ball? Is my thing.
yeah,
We don't know who
yeah.
the second receiver is, but that's it. Tampa, Mike Evans, is
Well,
he going to
Diane
continue?
Brown, I believe, is the number 2 out there.
I ain't starting him. I got to
Oh
see something.
no, God, no.
Yeah. And then you figure Tampa, is Mike Evans going to continue to defy the fountain of youth? Is Chris Godwin come back to life? Does he resurrect, or is he still forgotten? Rashard White, got to see what he's going to do. That's about
Yeah,
it.
who's the other guy here? Hold on.
With who?
Oh, McMillan. Okay.
Yeah,
he's
the rookie.
What he can kind of pull off there. I'd like to see if he's going to be a part of this or, right. Right. And the last 2 games of the week here are Rams at Lions with the spread of -4.5 for Detroit, over under 52.5. Yeah, you're goddamn right. It's going to be
They're going to.
banger.
And they just played in the playoffs, so yeah, they're gonna go up and down that field.
We don't even use kickers, and I'm saying draft a kicker. Let's go. Like I'm good. We're not going to go up and down the roster here. You know who you're going to start there. Like this is that game that you literally want a piece of every
any piece that you can trot out there. Go ahead.
Like the general manager, you could probably put in there. Get you at least 4 picks. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun game. Sun God, Jared Goff in the dome. Monty, Jameer, tight end. What the hell is his name?
Laporta.
On the other side, you got Puka, you got
Cooper,
you got Sherman Williams, you got
out
there. Like, god damn. Like I am like, how the whole I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Yeah, usually I'm like, shut up, bitch. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This time it really applies.
All right. Well played, Carrie. All right, Monday night.
Carrie Underwood's legs. God damn.
Everything, Carrie. Yes.
Watching her legs when she be doing that little. I'm like, man, her legs is made of steel or some shit.
Yeah. All right. So Monday night, getting the Jets and the Niners. San Fran is -4.5 with an over/under of 43.5, and McCaffrey is game time decision. It seems like, so that'll be interesting. They're gonna re-roll this and see if they can actually get Aaron on the field. Funny enough, though, the player that killed his Achilles is on the Niners now, so that's actually a funny little thing.
I didn't know that.
That's a little quip. Jets tough defense, Niners tough defense. Let's just say McCaffrey isn't in there. I mean, that becomes a lot more interesting, and that puts a lot more of the onus on to Ayuk and Debo and Kittle. I wouldn't really go and start Jordan Mason or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know he's looked good in camp, but that's camp.
Yeah, you can't
The
expect a
Jets,
CMC performance out of no Jordan Mason.
right.
It's going to be a regular running back. I mean, if anything, Debo's going to probably get more snaps in the backfield.
Yes, that's exactly why. Yeah, that's a big, big, big possibility. Jets, I mean, Brees, Garrett, I mean, at a pinch, maybe Tyler Conklin, but I don't know, man. I'm all
That's
set
it.
on the Jets, dude. Like,
Me and you talked about it before. I just can't really trot out Jets. I'm just not a big fan of Jets.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Brees Hall was way, way overdrafted. I get it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, dude, it's the Jets, man. Like, I don't know. I just don't. And it's funny because if Aaron is actually going to be healthy, Brees is going to take a back seat to that because they're going to try to make up for lost time. Like him and Garrett are going to be like, all right, we couldn't play last year, so I'm going to throw you the ball twice a play. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that, right? I don't care. I do it because I went on a weird retreat in the cave, and now I can smell color.
I mean, it might be different. I mean, if Aaron can sling it in the air, and Brees might be just somebody that's closing out the game on that last drive, and it's like they're not going to feed him that much. Yeah,
they're going to need to. Like, I mean, he'll still get the rock, he'll still get played, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. He's not like second, third, fourth round pick or fourth overall pick like people were drafting him. I'm like,
yep. It was like CMC. CD Lamb, and then people were right on the Brees Hall. I'm like, golly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Or B. John, and then right after B. John, him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's a little much. But I did get a free bet with MGM, and I did a 12-leg parlay. So let's go.
12-leg parlay? You need 12 things to go right for that thing to hit.
Yeah.
What is that? $1 to $100 or something?
No, so it was a $5 free bet. Here, let me read it off here. Hold on. Okay. So need the Chiefs to win, the Eagles to win. That already happened. Dolphins to beat the Jags. Vikings.
No points, just straight up win or lose.
Straight up. Yeah.
Okay.
Bengals to beat the Patriots. Bears to beat the Titans. Bills to beat the Cards. Texans to beat the Colts. Seahawks to beat the Broncos. Bucks to beat the Commanders. Cowboys to beat Cleveland. And Niners to beat Jets. And it was a $5 free bet. And if I win, I get $1,200.
Oh, that's real doable. $1,200 off of $5?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hey, You're already 2 to the good, so you got 10 to drop down, huh?
Yeah. And, kind of, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I guess we're done here.
Yep.
So Monday is baseball. Tuesday, we're not doing the show based on scheduling there, so that's fine. You get a break from our dumbass faces, so you're welcome. So
I know I'll be pooped.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. So we'll see you again for football on Wednesday. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll have some stuff to talk about. Hope I'll be $1,200 richer. Woo!
Wish you
All right.
luck there. I mean, those are
Yeah.
all winnable games, but
I
you know the
know.
NFL.
Any given Sunday, baby. I know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, we'll be chatting on Sunday, so it'll be fun.
Yep.
All right, toodaloos, folks.
Peace.